Welcome to Exploring the Paranormal. Hosted by Heather Leigh, PhD, Exploring the Paranormal offers a new, fresh look into paranormal research. Join Heather as she discusses some of the many haunted locations worldwide, discusses why these locations are haunted, hear from paranormal researchers about their personal experiences at these locations. Additionally, Heather takes a journey into the science behind the paranormal, discussing topics such as thermodynamics and the Heisenberg principle and how they both affect paranormal activity. Now, your host of Exploring the Paranormal, Dr. Heather Leigh.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Exploring the Paranormal. I am super excited to have you all here and watching and listening. Hope you guys find the show entertaining and you get as much information as you can about the paranormal field and those who are involved in it. Today, I have some amazing guests. I know David is already backstage and we're just waiting for Kristi to join us, and then I'll bring them both in. They are the host of Our Haunted Lives. David, he's been on the show before when Kristi couldn't make it, so I'm so glad she's going to be here today. And you guys know he's amazing. Lots of laughs. We have fun. So no specific topic today, just whatever comes to your mind, whatever comes to my mind and questions that I have. And we're just going to have a general chit chat about all things paranormal. And so if you guys have any questions, you go ahead and start asking away. It can be about recent paranormal experiences you've had, questions about, I'm going to throw this out there just because, and I'll explain a little bit more later because we have another show coming up about it. But orbs, love questions about orbs. And David's probably backstage laughing already now. And we're just going to have lots of fun today. But before we get started, I want to, talk to you guys about a whole bunch of different things. I'm so excited. I just finished the editing process of my newest book. So that will be coming out September 11th, Haunted Florida Lighthouses. Sorry. I'm working on Haunted Florida Ghost Towns right now and almost done with that book. Absolutely. That's going to be a fun one as well. So stay tuned. This time around, I know I wasn't able to do it before, but I want to do a virtual book signing for people who can't be here in person to do it here in Florida. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I also have a whole bunch of different things that we can do to get you guys copies of the book. You can order any of my books from History Press or Acadia Publishing. They're also available online at on Amazon. You can order them from Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. I know Target, Walmart have them. They're inside Southern Nevada Walgreens. I just received notification that my Ghosts and Legends of the Vegas Valley is at the Mob Museum, the Railroad Museum in Boulder City, and the museum in Elko. I was trying to think of the state. I kept saying I wanted to Reno, but it is in Elko. I just got that notification. And then also, from what I understand, both books are available at the Clark County Museum. So you guys can pick them up there. And here in Florida, of course, again, Walgreens. I know the different lighthouses are going to carry them, as well as certain locations such as Hubbard's Marina in Johns Pass, Mel Fisher's Museum out in Vero Beach and Sebastian area. And just all over the place, there'll be, local museums as well. So once I get a full list of where that book will be, I'll let you know. But as always, you guys know you can send me an email, message on Facebook, or whatever you want. The books sell for $21.99 plus shipping and tax. But if you order directly from me, I have several copies of the 2 books that are out. I just charge a flat rate of $25, and that includes your tax and shipping. And I will also autograph it and personalize it for you. So make sure you guys keep your eyes open for that new book coming out. I'm just super excited. I'm also placing my order too, so I should be getting those. I think they said I would be getting my order in late July, early September. So I see a couple of you guys joining in already. Hi, Lee. Welcome to the show again. And Tina, I do see your question there. I'll make sure I get that asked during the show. And good morning. I hope I don't butcher this name, but is it Dupra Sherry? Good morning, and thank you for joining us. And I'm happy to have everyone here. Okay, just a few more things that I wanted to talk about. When I had mentioned earlier, you can ask questions about orbs. That's because on Ghost Education 101 on not tomorrow, but next Wednesday, May 24th, we are going to have a panel discussion on orbs. It's going to be a fun show. I have a whole bunch of pictures that people have sent me, videos that I've pulled offline, that we're going to have a panel discussion with David Taylor, Bill Slevin, Larry Lawson, and Nick Carboni, discussing and analyzing the different photos that I have pulled offline to offer everybody guidance and kind of tips and tricks on how to determine if an orb is an orb or if it is just a backscatter or some type of reflection. My favorite orbs are the security camera, the night vision security cameras. Love those. Those are fun to watch. And also Real Haunts Ghost Towns and Real Haunts 3 are available now on Prime Video for $4.99 each, or you can watch them. I think they're still on Tubi. If not, I know Real Haunts 3 is still on Tubi for free. And don't forget, we were going to start June 1st, but I just want to let everybody know that Passport to the Paranormal with myself and Joe Frankie will start June 8th because Joe will be out of town on a case. And that'll occur Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. I think we've come up with, I pronounced the name correctly. I'm glad I did. Thank you so much. But Joe and I are going to be kind of doing a fun little thing. We're going to rotate turns. 1 week, Joe's going to pick the topic. Next week, I'm going to pick the topic. Then week 3, what we're going to do, I find this kind of funny is I'm going to pick 10 questions about the paranormal and ask Joe, put him on the spot. And then Joe's going to ask 10 questions to me about the paranormal. And then the 4th and 5th, if there is a 5th week, we will have a special guest on our show joining us to interview and to discuss different things about the paranormal. And one more thing, I see Kristi is backstage. I just want to remind you guys, registration will open mid-July, but I am teaching online classes for TMCC. One is September 5th, and that is the ABCs of Paranormal Research. And the other one is October 9th, and that is Ghost Hunting 101. Both times are 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific. So stay tuned. I have information on that on my page, as well as the link and the phone number to register. So that will be happening directly through there. Everybody who watches or participates in those classes will be entered to win a free copy of one of my books of their choice. And also, I will record the class for those who attend so you guys can have a copy to replay it for yourself later on if you missed something during the class. Okay, with that being said, I am super excited to bring on our guest, David Taylor. Like I said, he's been on our show before, and Kristi is also backstage. So let's welcome the host of Our Haunted Lives, or Our Haunted Life.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. How are
Morning.
you?
Good. I love both of your backgrounds.
Oh, my Ouija board. When I get bored, I'll just take it down and I get this big planchette and I'll just do it, No, I'm kidding.
That's when you lay it down and you take the little ghost balls or cat balls.
Yeah.
And roll them and tell the ghost to stop it on whatever letter.
Exactly. Or just the balls on, and whichever one lights up is the one that you take. Oh, it's a bee. Oh.
Exactly.
Wow, what's going on with Kristi?
I was just going to say that. She's frozen.
You're going in and out, Kristi.
Frozen
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, she'll come back.
It's the ghost.
No, we Kristi has always had her background the way that she's had it. She's had a really good one. I, on the other hand, have come up through the ranks with my background. It was really bad at first because I had like white sheets and I had the lighting, but white sheets reflect and black sheets absorb. So I had to get some black sheets, and then I had to pick up my little trinkets. Like I have the Grim Reaper of New Orleans up here that I got in New Orleans, which is great. Scully, which I got in Salem. And if you could see it better, it's actually has like a Ouija board thing all over the skull. And then I got Mothy down here, and which I actually got from the Mothman Museum. And then over here, Just got the, my lava lamp and there's Grogu over there. Kristi.
I'm back.
Oh,
Yeah,
much better.
Much better.
I don't know I was having trouble with my computer, and I thought I'd plugged in I always plug into the, what's it called? The coax cable that.
Yeah, the Ethernet.
Yeah, the Ethernet. Always plug that in, and apparently I plugged it into the wrong thing. So I ran real quick to go check it. And I was like, well, no wonder it's not working right. It's in the wrong hole.
Always happens that way. Always
Yes,
happens
it
that way.
sucks.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting so how have you guys been? Oh, Todd's laughing at you backstage.
A little bit of 10 o'clock in the morning humor there, Todd.
Exactly.
I was going to ask if you had your coffee yet, Kristi.
No, I have not.
No.
I want
Why?
coffee so bad right now.
I was gonna say I have my coffee. Go ahead and get it.
Oh, I need to make it.
I was gonna say now that it's working, she had a shot of espresso when she was off camera.
Yeah,
Right?
there you
I
go.
should have.
I got it working.
I am not a morning person. This is not. No.
No, so kind of go back into how you change your backgrounds, Kristi, because mine is usually set. I'll switch out the poster every once in a while to see if people notice.
I have screens. They're like large
Tapestries?
like large blankets, and I've got a I kind of jerry rigged the whole thing. If you could see how it's done up, you would laugh your butt off. But it's a long rope that goes across the back part of my bedroom, and I just pin them up.
Yeah.
And I do different ones for different things. Like, if we're interviewing somebody in the vampire community, I have my vampire screen up that has the castle and everything in it.
I love that one, by the way. I love that one.
Yeah, or the skeletons with the rose. It's just different stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're moving, and I'm actually going to have a separate office. Finally, I'm not going to be functioning in the living room like I do now.
Right.
And I'm having a bookshelf built behind my desk, and part of the instructions include clamps and hooks so I can put a screen up.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to move mine into another room too instead of in my bedroom, but my bedroom is so huge that it's the only room that not being occupied by another living person or studio music stuff.
but 19 million haunted dolls. So
Yeah, I don't have that many.
I know.
I have 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, my husband's in my bedroom for work, and he does a lot of conference calls during the day.
Right.
So I kind of got shoved downstairs.
Yeah.
No, most of the time we record at night. So, and I do share an office with my wife too, but yeah, I mean, like I was saying I have the clothesline gimmick also with the sheet on it for the background, and it's not working too well because it's during the day now. So if you see like right up here, you can see there's a little bit of light. Yeah, there's a little bit of lights coming through. So
yeah, I was wondering how mine was going to do too, because I've got windows and everything, and it's light coming through. But
and I don't know if you agree with this, Kristi, but it really I think it really enhances your shows if you do have like a nice background and things like that. And I'm not saying anything against you, Heather. You're moving.
No. Trust me, I know my faults. No,
but
come on, David. You're just totally throwing Heather under the bus here.
That's to insult the host. Just
Exactly.
I have you on. I'm going to tell
but
everybody you believe in orbs.
Oh, who, me? Oh, I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for the orb show. I can't wait. Every photo you're going to show me, I'm going to be like, no.
And some of them are from news stations.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That
Cool.
shared photos. Check out this photo that we captured while we were doing a haunted story for Halloween.
No.
Should I shake my towel so a bunch of orbs start flying around me, or no?
Right. Can I clap my hands in the middle of a dusty room? Oh, it's an orb.
Actually, I think one of them came from Orb Connection, which is an organization studying orbs.
Okay. Well, I'll listen. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, we like to listen to a lot of people, and that's why we have people on the show. But I don't know, man.
Orbs are a hard thing for me to.
Yeah.
Anything with pictures is a hard thing for me to because of pareidolia.
Yep.
You always have you're pre-programmed to see a face in everything. I mean, just like Jesus and the toast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're pre-programmed to see stuff like that. So it's very easy for some, oh, that's a face, that's a body, that's a figure. That's because we want to see what we recognize, and
Yeah.
so,
And it's tough too, because if you're not there, you don't know, because like we have a photo, and I know because I was there that
Right.
nobody was outside because we had heard noises. So we walked around the entire building, and it's in the middle of Goldfield and, nowhere.
right.
And I took a photo in the dark, just shooting out the window, and outside there was a light, and you can see a silhouette of a figure looking in the window.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else is like, oh, that's, someone standing outside, or, that's a trash can, or
Right.
that's like, no, it's I know because I was there.
Right.
Sure,
But
sure.
it's so hard when you're not there to know the
Yeah.
story behind
Definitely.
it.
I mean, it's just the case in point, just feeling something, and you felt it, you were touched,
Mhm.
you had felt that ominous feeling before it happened. Even people that don't have abilities they know when something is shift.
Yeah.
Right.
But how do you really prove it to anybody?
Mhm.
People just have to believe you. But on photography, if you do have something and you were there and you actually saw it and can explain what was going on when it was actually taken, then that's a little more impressive.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's different than just
Saying, what do you
hey,
see here? What do you
here's an
see
orb
here?
or something like that.
Yeah.
It's Kristi, you hit that one right on the head. I think.
Well, thank you, David. Thank you, darling. I
No
appreciate
problem.
that.
So, Kristi, do you notice anything different about me?
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so your head looks like a little tiny peanut. So
Jeez.
I don't know. I don't have my glasses on.
I shaved my beard.
You. Oh no, you did.
Yeah, I did. It's
What
getting
the
too
hell
hot
did you
out.
do that for?
It's too hot out, man. It's getting
Oh,
hot out.
geez.
So it was bugging me. It was just one of those things of, like you get a
It's like I can't see. I
get
can't
a
have my glasses on.
you get an itch and you got to scratch, and I'm just like, today I'm shaving today. So it was the first time in a year. So
Yeah, I think I'll shave my legs today too. Be the first time in a year.
Courtney Lopez says, what beard? She doesn't remember one.
oh wow, Courtney, I've had a beard for a long time.
Forever.
So yeah. There are certain pictures though that I do put out, like the promo pictures. I shaved when we got our promo pictures done though, Kristi. Remember? And you're like, you should have kept your beard on.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to look like Johnny Zaffis. Plus, it makes me look younger.
There's nothing wrong with looking like Johnny.
That's exactly what you said.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
The Godfather. Come on.
No, it was. I think I just had to get rid of it for a little bit. So,
Yeah.
you know how it is.
I understand.
Yeah, it's a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
I'll shave my legs today.
Okay. Awesome.
So
This interview is
I'll have
starting
to
off
have her on the
incredibly.
show again so she can show that off. No.
To show that I finally shaved my caveman legs.
No, I completely get that. I had to shave mine the other day because I was going to see the knee doctor.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? The older you get, the only reason why you shave is if you know you're going to be out in public
Yeah.
and somebody might see.
I
like,
hear it from my wife too.
I'm getting ready to go to Tampa to the beach in a couple of days. And I went to Walmart yesterday to buy a bathing suit. And I'm trying on these bathing suits. Nope.
Nope.
And finally I'm like, well, this one's not too bad, but I'm going to have to shave places I haven't shaved in forever. But I guess, you got to when you go to the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
The trials and tribulations of women.
What part of Tampa are you going to?
Near Ybor City.
Okay, Ybor City.
Yeah, Ybor. Ybor.
It depends on who you talk to. We all pronounce it differently down here.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's about
right
20
on
minutes from where we're at.
We're staying right on the beach.
Okay.
Can't remember the name. It's like it's almost like a little peninsula area where it goes out and you're right on the ocean.
Okay.
So we stayed there last year and absolutely loved the condo because you just walk out on your balcony and there's, the sunrise, the sunset right there. So it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Depending on traffic, we're about 20-30 minutes from the downtown area.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be really close.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll be down there.
Shave your legs and come to the beach with me.
Yeah. I'll be in the Keys in July. So
It's funny. I may live in Florida, but I usually don't wear a swimsuit.
I'm allergic to them. So,
Courtney says wear some shorts or spandex.
Yes. Yes, I could do that.
There you go.
Some spandex.
So you're going to see Robert the Doll?
Robert the Doll. I've already seen Robert the Doll. No, I'm not going to see Robert the Doll.
No, I don't like
No. Robert doesn't like me. I don't think he likes much of anybody.
No. Nope. Yeah, I saw him many years ago, and we found out that from the Tampa area, you can take a boat to Key West instead of having to drive to the East Coast and then south.
Sure.
And it's like only 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're like, ooh.
Yeah.
A full-day trip is now only a couple hours.
I can't wait. We're driving down, so it's just going to be a really long drive, but I can't wait to get there because just like Kristi, we've got a condo right on the beach, and it's got a private beach with like 4 or 5 condos there, which is great. And just go out and its own little cove, and I just can't wait to go snorkeling and get out to Tortuga Bay or whatever it's called, and or Tortuga Island. Is it Tortuga Island?
The island, yeah.
So,
with the fort.
With the fort.
Yep.
Do a little mini ghost investigation when I'm out there. So.
That place is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, it's but
even in Tampa down to Florida Keys, that's still another 5-6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's still way down there.
Traffic,
yeah, depending on how you go, because some parts of the Keys you have to actually go all the way to Miami.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
we're gonna have to go through Miami because we're just coming down 95. So it'll be a nice long drive to there, and then depending on who's going to the Keys that weekend, because one road in, one road out.
That's right.
Exactly.
And hopefully there's no hurricanes coming through at the end of July.
Yeah, I don't like bridges with water under them. They really freak me out. So going to the Keys would be difficult for me. I'd have to be in the floorboard of the car, just sitting there praying, doing Hail Marys, even though I'm not Catholic.
Kristi, you lived in New Orleans, though. Did you ever go over the bridge over Lake Pontchartrain?
I did go over that bridge. It's not a very high bridge, and the water doesn't do like this, like big ocean water does.
I was scared when I went over that
bridge.
And then you've got the 7 Mile Bridge in the Keys too. If you want to get to Key West, you got to go over.
Yeah, there's one in Pensacola when I lived in Florida that I had to get used to. Go from Gulf Breeze on into Pensacola. Okay. And it goes up high. It's not a very long one, but it goes up pretty good. If I was driving, I'd have to get on the inside lane. I couldn't be on the outside. And I would just have my hands up on the steering wheel, just staring right in front instead of looking to the sides.
And she's telling the truth. Like I remember when we went over to Delaware, the Delaware Bridge, Delaware Memorial Bridge, to when we were going up to Massachusetts for Con. You're like, is this over water? I go, yeah. On the inside, I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, get on the inside. I'm not afraid of water. It's just something about bridge. I mean, who knows? In a previous life, I might have fallen off of a bridge.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the bridge I always hated when we lived in Nevada was that one that went over the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one I always got to the inside lane and made sure I couldn't see.
Yeah,
they freak me out.
Yep. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Not that I'm glad you guys don't like bridges, but I'm glad I'm not.
I think they're absolutely beautiful. I just don't like to be on them.
Kristi, if you were, would you walk the Golden Gate Bridge with me? Would you
I
feel
would
better if
feel-
you were walking?
I'd feel
or-
better if I was walking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd want to get it over with as fast as possible. I'd be crawling across the bridge.
Right. I don't know. I think it just in the car, I feel like if something was to happen, my car is going to just like
Yeah.
into the,
You're
and
watching
then
too
trying to
many
get out of
movies.
the car, you know.
You're watching too many movies, Kristi.
You're probably right.
Too many Final Destinations.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Yes. Oh, if that was the
Spider-Man.
case, I wouldn't be getting into airplanes. I can get into airplanes and fly over water.
That's weird.
I
But
know.
no,
I'm just weird.
I guess we'll be driving over the bridge when we're in Philly, you know? So
Yeah.
it'll be I guess we're not going to take the train over, because then you'd be right on the side of the bridge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No.
Not going to happen. Okay.
No. I like trains. Never been on one.
Yeah, you have. We took the subway when we were in New
Well,
York City.
that's a subway.
Yeah, but that's what I meant by the train.
I'm talking about a woo woo choo choo train.
Oh,
Yeah.
see what I have to deal with when we go on trips and things like this. She's usually not this perky in the morning, though, especially without her coffee. Normally she's like, David, what are you doing up? I go, it's 10 o'clock.
I'm salivating right now for coffee. I'm almost going to put y'all guys on hold and go get some.
Order DoorDash.
Right. Who's going to go get it at the door? My dad.
You hear the ding dong.
He's waiting on his coffee too, so he's probably in his bedroom cussing at me. Where's my coffee?
Yeah, Todd's backstage laughing. He goes, we have a coffee break coming up. Yeah, in a few minutes. We can take it now if you guys want to. We can take a quick commercial break before we come back. We do have several comments coming up and questions. Yeah. I told people just to ask questions away, and they are. And of course, I have my questions for you guys, but so far this is more entertaining than my questions could ever be.
I can get quite dorky, I guess.
We'll make some coffee and come on back, Kristi.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to.
How long do we have? A couple minutes.
Yeah, just a minute or so. I'm not sure. I never really timed it, but if you're not here, we can manage.
Okay. All right.
I got your back.
And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Thank you.
Download the new station calendar and never miss another show. To get it is simple and free. Just visit WLTK-DB.com to download or tap the subscribe button on our mobile app. Once the file is in your downloads folder, just double-click it, authorize it to your calendar, and boom, you have every show listed. Not only does it list the shows, but also the links to watch them live. We would like to thank Danny Loosemore for developing this for us and hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Get yours now at WLTK-DB.com or just click subscribe on our mobile app. See you at the shows. Put the power of this station in the palm of your hand and download our mobile app. Visit the App Store, Google Play, and search for WLTK-DB Talk Radio and download the app for free. Listen to past shows, download our station calendar right to yours, and even shop the WLTK-DB Talk Radio mobile app. Now available on the App Store and Google Play. Download yours now.
Welcome back, everyone. And it looks like we have a ghost replacing Kristi for a while. Perfect fit for the show. And I do want to say Todd's book was on the last commercial that we just saw, and it is absolutely amazing. I was trying to look for it on my bookshelf behind me, but I couldn't find it.
Nice.
I'm loving it. I'm not quite finished with it yet, but it is a really, really good book. So,
nice.
yeah.
I have an outline. I've done an outline because I'm really thinking of writing one also. It's just, and I've talked to, many people, I'm good friends with like Sam Bellatrusis and some other people and Natalie and stuff. And they've written books and I've asked, and cause it's just the hardest thing to get started because it's really, really scary to put yourself out there, and you don't want people to go, oh, and crap all over you and stuff like that. So it's very intimidating, but they're all just like, that's the hardest thing to do is to start. And once
Mr.
you start,
Post and Ghost is intimidated.
that's what I do.
It's like, write your book and go.
Yeah. See ya. I'm not reading any comments or anything. So Post and Ghost. Absolutely. So it's awesome that he did. And I think, I'm not sure if Kristi has it. I'm not sure if she does, but we'll be checking into it. So
yeah. My issue is I'm trying to find an editor for self-publishing because I've been freelance writing since I was 16. And so many times I've gotten back from an editor at the newspaper saying, you need to proofread before you submit it to us. Well, my first thought is, well, that's your job.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I read it 5 times. Yeah. But because you know what it's supposed to say, your mind goes over any errors.
Yeah.
So sure. I'm still trying to find. I have about 5 different books that could easily be self-published, but I'm hesitating on finding that editor.
Yeah. That's the thing is just trying to find somebody and then publishing it, and then I don't know. I'm dipping my toe in the water, and things like that. So I think it would be an incredible experience of my story, and the story of our haunted lives and how Kristi and I got started. And, it wouldn't be like this is how you do a talk show or this is how you do a podcast or anything like that. But I would give pointers, it's a big part of my life, so.
Exactly. And that would be a good read too. I'm always interested in reading about other people's experiences and how they got started and all that stuff.
Sure.
And,
absolutely.
Yeah. My thing is I'm going to write a book that is a tell-all that doesn't get published until after I'm dead, that exposes everybody, because I have lots as we all do, I have lots of little dirty secrets I know about people.
Oh, geez. The things I went through yesterday. Oh, my God. It was just phone call after phone call. My phone was blowing up, and I'm just like, listen, you know what? I'm working with who I want to work with, and that's it. I'm not unless I know that they're a fake or something like that, or they're not honest, or, have pulled some shenanigans, in the field, then that's probably, a deal breaker for me, but other than that, I'm just tired of the drama. I'm just tired of it. So it's so silly. It's draining, it really is draining. It gave me a migraine yesterday. I was like, this is the 20th call that I'm talking about this. And why am I still talking about this? Just deal with it.
Yeah. I have a large network, but I keep my immediate network very small.
Yeah.
And I only trust a few people, and there's a few people that I would investigate with.
Yeah. That's why Kristi and I, we kind of, we do work with people, and but it's basically just me and her, and she's done some really great things for OHL with the contacts that she has, and it's we just get tired.
Nothing. I know nothing about nothing, and I know nobody.
Yes, you do. You know everything about everything. So.
Except not how to speed along a coffee maker. Do you know it? You never realize how long something takes until you're wanting it to hurry. It's like watching water to boil and making a pot of coffee. That's not a slow feat there.
Yeah, I experience that every morning before I go live because my dog has to go to the bathroom 5 minutes usually. Today I got lucky. And it's like she takes her time. It's like circle. It's like, oh my God.
It's like you have to sniff in 50 different places to decide where she wants to go.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I swear she has ADHD because the slightest noise, she's like, then she has to go investigate it.
Right.
What are some of these questions? I want to get into some of these things.
No worry. Todd says coffee is life.
There
Yes.
you go.
Let me scroll back to the top. We have Tina asked earlier, just when we first started, how do I know if my dreams are astro travel or just dreams?
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's a good question. It's a
Yep.
really
yeah.
good question.
I can.
Yeah, that's
definitely tell you.
that's your area, Kristi. So,
A lot of times when you have lucid dreaming and astral travel are pretty close together. If you can, lucid dreaming is a lot easier than astral travel. Now she's wanting to know if she's doing it. Is that what was the question?
Yeah, she wants to know if it's how to tell the difference between astro travel and just dreams.
Okay. Well, astral travel, you'll be outside of your body.
yeah.
You can look down and see your body laying on the bed. You can you go into different realms. You can, even if you have people that know how to astral travel, you can meet people in the astral world. Lucid dreaming is the step before the astral travel, and that one's a lot easier. A lot of people, I do lucid dreaming. It's something I've done since I was little, and I can control my dreams. If it's right before you start to wake up, you don't completely come out of it. And that's the first step into going to astral travel. I wonder if she's had an experience that she's wanting to know because you can make little symbols or little things inside your dreams that'll connect with your head and say, oh, I'm dreaming. Like I always do this with my fingers. If I'm doing that with my fingers, then it tells me in my dream that, oh, you're dreaming. This is the lucid dream. You're dreaming, and then you can control it. The same way with astral travel. There'll be certain things. There'll be something different in your room. There'll be something. Your house doesn't quite look like your house, but it has to trigger your mind while you're dreaming.
Mhm.
That's the hard part, is to trigger yourself to realize, hey, wait a minute. I am dreaming. This is, I'm in my head right now, or my body is because astral travel, you're actually disconnected from your body. And there are, I don't know for a fact because I'm still here talking and breathing, but if you get too far away from your body during astral travel, there are, people do say that you don't come back and you die.
Yeah.
So I don't know about, how much truth there is to
Don't freak
that.
people
but-
out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She says that dreams that are too real and like you're half awake, half asleep type of feeling.
That would be lucid dreaming. She's lucid dreaming.
Okay.
And especially if she can control the dreams, or if she knows that she's dreaming and still underneath that REM state, because dreams happen normally right before you wake up.
Mhm.
That's usually the best time that you dream, and you're not in that deep sleep. So yeah, those are fun when you can control your dreams. I've made out with many a movie stars. Jared Leto is married to me and he doesn't even know it.
I do know whenever I've tried to astro travel intentionally, like laying in bed and meditating, I feel like I have trouble breathing.
Really?
So I usually end up stopping myself because it's like that's the last thing I want is to
Right.
Yeah.
get out of my
Maybe just
body.
a little bit of anxiety because you're trying to do it.
Yep.
Possibly. But
Yeah.
I promise you're going to continue to breathe. Even if you go into meditative state, you're going to continue to breathe. Your body, it's like people, oh, they're choking, they're going to die. No, normally if they pass out, they're going to relax and they're going to continue to breathe and they're
Right.
going to be okay. So
Yep.
the same way with meditating or lucid dreaming and all of that, your body's going to take over and breathe naturally.
Mhm.
Yeah, with the meditation that I do, because I'm pretty big into meditation, and it's not like lucid dreaming or astro projecting or things like that, but I can put myself into places and just imagine like I'm on the top of a mountain and things like that when I really get into the deep.
If you want to hear something really funny about
What?
Okay, I was meditating one night, and I was doing the guided meditation thing where the guy talks. I think, what was the guy's name? Stephen. He's on YouTube. I absolutely love him. I can't think of his name right now. Jason Stevenson.
Okay.
And I was in the snow. It was really cold, and I'm walking along, and then all of a sudden he said that we were in not the North Pole. What's the opposite of the North Pole?
Antarctica.
And we're in Antarctic.
Mhm.
And in my mind, I turn upside down because I'm thinking the Antarctic is in the bottom part of the world. So the whole meditation, I was upside down, thinking that I'm standing
On the bottom of the earth.
on the bottom of the earth.
That's
For
great.
whatever reason, my mind, as soon as he said Antarctic, I'm like, oh, I'm upside down. And I had to stop the meditation because I couldn't take it seriously because
Sure.
I was walking upside down and I couldn't fix it in my mind. I couldn't fix
Yeah.
it. So yeah, that's funny.
Okay, and Tina, you had asked earlier, real quick. I know it's off topic, but she wanted to know the ferry boat to Key West from Tampa. It departs from Fort Myers, and
okay.
it's ferrygogo.com.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
There you go.
that'll be fun.
Yep. So there's that. And Lee commented earlier. She said she went to nope, wrong one. That's another comment she made earlier too. But she was talking. She has small things disappearing in her house. She thinks it's her ghost, Todd, who is still living in her house, but he swears he's not moving any items.
Could be fairies.
Yeah.
Brownies are synonymous for being inside the home. They're helpers, but they can take things, and they love mischief. So they could move things around. All you got to do is just ask them to put it back, or eventually you'll come across it. But the best thing to do to appease any type of the fae is to put anything of cream. Like if you have some little whipping cream, put it in a seashell and put it out on your windowsill, or put it in, something I like putting them in the seashells because it's natural. It's not, I like to use all natural as possible, and just put some cream out or something shiny. They like shiny stuff too. And then just tell them, this is for you. Quit taking my stuff because I need it. I know you don't mean anything, because you definitely don't want to piss them off.
Yeah, at least it's not the red. At least it's not the red fae.
Yeah, red fae, no good.
Yeah, red fae, bad baby. No squeezy.
Bad fairy,
Yeah.
bad fae. They can get pretty mischievous.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can.
Courtney says, when you have those dreams, I'm assuming this is when we were talking about lucid dreams, it's normally you fighting yourself or facing your own demons.
Ooh.
It's an interesting point.
Yeah, that sounds like the first thing that popped in my head is you probably need to go talk to somebody about that, because if you're fighting yourself and fighting your demons, and that's really it's something inside, and I hate to put it this way, but there's something going on internally that needs to be,
that needs shadow work done.
Yeah, you need to take care of that, because if you're fighting yourself, then you got internal.
There's a good person that can help you too. Kadrick Olson is really great with shadow work. He's out in Denver, Colorado, and he's
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, and he knows all about lucid dreaming and shadow work and all that stuff. So
he's got a great approach on everything. I love his like 10 commandments of paranormal investigating, and like 9 of them like have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
I think
what's the first rule of paranormal?
I think people have forgotten about that.
Seriously.
To have fun during investigations. I mean,
we're supposed to have fun.
Yeah, you're supposed to have fun, and believe it or not,
hold on.
The more I laugh,
here's a standard picture.
Yeah.
I'm mean and I'm paranormal investigator.
I'm a paranormal.
Like when you see ours, I love the picture that you put out of Kristi leaning over going like this, and I've got my eyebrow like this, and we're having fun.
We're having fun.
And that's what I said. Like, I'm not crossing my arms, not doing it.
Investigations, the more before I started working with David, I was working with Ghost Hunt Weekends and the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, and more times than not, we would get more evidence when people were laughing, when people were having a good time, because the spirits wanted to join in. They wanted to hear the music. They wanted. What happened now?
The spirits are talking to you.
Right? They are.
Your computer went
They're
off.
wanting me to play music. But we would play music, like we'd play saloon music if it was, from the 1800s or whatever, or the early 1900s. We'd play saloon music. We would act like we were bordello girls,
Yeah.
just all kinds of stuff. And it really, it would really get them going. And I think a lot of people have forgotten how to have fun while you're investigating.
I was watching Chris and Mike at the Hotel Josephine when they were in the bar area when we were there with them in
Right.
Kansas, and their REM pod and the reactions that they were getting and the EVPs that they were getting. And Kristi's so right, because Chris and Mike are such great guys, and they were just having a blast. People were laughing.
Yeah.
REM pod just,
Yeah.
going off. So she makes a really great point about that and about how investigations really need to be fun. It's serious work also, but I mean, I can't be serious for like 4 hours straight. Jesus, man.
Yeah, I
I
can't.
can't even be serious for a minute straight.
There's no part of my body that screams serious for that long. I can't be serious like that. Now, I mean, if I'm in a place and I feel something dark that's next to me, then
a
of
different
course,
story.
it's a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had things run up on me or run in front of me and appear in front of me, and it's a no laughing matter at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we were having fun at the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, but then
It got serious real
it got
quick.
really serious, like really quick with the person who helped.
Yeah.
And you were feeling it before, and then I was with Ashley, and you were with Mike, and Josh was kind of by himself, or he was with Jason. And I started pacing back and forth. And Ashley Marino goes to Kristi. She goes, "What's up with David?" Kristi just goes, "It's just what he does when he starts
He
feeling.
does.
It just starts happening,
I don't think I have a telltale anything. I just think it's just I pick up on stuff and then I run with it.
Yeah.
Like in that instance, I was picking up on an old lady, but it ended up not being an old lady. It was a young girl, but she was so anorexic and so frail that she looked like an old lady. But she was sick, and she wanted out of there. She was being held there against her will.
It was bad.
And it took me an hour and a half to get her released.
Yeah. So in Old South Pittsburgh, it's basically like Jack and Jill rooms. So the bathroom's in the middle, and then they have a room and a room like that. Of course, I assume they would have private rooms or stuff like that. But yeah, I was picking up on it. Kristi was picking up on it. Her and Ashley went into the room, and Kristi's awesome in investigations because when she gets really serious, it's really funny. So what was happening is there was a lot of dark energy that was coming down the hall and going into this room. And I was standing by the bathroom trying to deflect it or absorb it. It's just something that I do, and it's very weird sometimes that I do it. And Kristi and I have experienced this a couple times when we've been on investigations. And Kristi was just like, "Get the F out here, David. I've got to do this," but it wasn't, it was telling me to push. I think she was telling me to get the energy away a little bit more.
I was telling you to get out of there because I realized the negative was coming up behind me. I was trying to work with that girl to help her.
Yeah.
But the thing that was controlling her was coming up behind me. And then you were coming up behind me, and I didn't want it to go into you. That's why I was yelling so bad. I wanted you out of there but what ended up happening is David luckily ended up moving it away from my back.
Yeah.
Because that's where it was trying to attack me, was from the back.
Yeah, I took it out to the hallway, and Mike Hatcher was there and Jason Baker were there. And the way that I can really kind of describe this is people who've seen The Shining, when the elevators open, it was just this wave after wave after wave of like negative energy. And like afterwards, I mean, we were done. We still had like 5 hours there. I was just sitting on the couch.
I was so tired because
Yeah.
I kept seeing the guy would steal her food. And at first I thought he was coming in and, sexually molesting her or something. It wasn't that. He was coming in, he was stealing her food. She never got to eat. And he was just a bully.
Yeah.
He was just a bully. And that energy was still there.
And that wasn't the only interaction that you had with him that night, because we were downstairs in that one room of where you started seeing like a lot of the
things on the ceilings.
Well, they were coming through the wall. No, you were focused on this one part of the wall because there was something around, and a lot of spirits were coming around, but he wasn't letting them out.
Right.
And you were like, get out, leave them alone, and stuff like that. And it was, it was almost time to go. And so, Kristi, I don't think we had enough time to do anything about it.
Right.
No, but it was really, really intense. It was like really intense.
Yeah. I kept telling everybody there's stuff on the ceilings. It's on the ceiling. It's on the ceiling. It's on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, when we went through the EVPs, next few days afterwards, there was something on the recorder. It was like, I'm on the ceiling. Yeah. And it actually said, I'm on the ceiling.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Because that's the only way that I could prove what I was seeing or what I was feeling is if something like that came through. And sure enough, it did. I was like, thank God I wasn't crazy.
It's always a satisfying
that's
moment
debatable,
when you
Kristi.
get that
That's
together.
debatable.
Yeah. Yes, I am crazy, but it's
crazy
nice
for ghosts.
crazy.
And while you're sharing that story, I was sitting there thinking the other night I had a lizard on my ceiling, but it was at night. So being not originally, but from Vegas the last 7 years, in my mind, it turned that little lizard into a scorpion.
Oh no. And
So
did it
up all
start
night
and growing and
Right.
growing like in Clash of the Titans, where the scorpions start growing, they get bigger and bigger?
Yeah, exactly.
So while you're sharing that story, I'm like, God, I'd rather have ghosts coming out of my ceiling.
I lived in Arizona for 30 years, so I understand dealing with scorpions. And I always tell people, why don't you put your lights on outside at night? I said, well, that attracts bugs. Bugs attract scorpions and tarantulas.
Right.
So,
the other night I was laying in bed and I was watching Merlin, and I love that show. It's an old one, but I love it. And I was laying down, and all of a sudden I see this movement, and a little tiny mouse. I mean, we're talking maybe 2 inches, came running up on my bed and stopped in the middle of the bed and just sitting there looking at me. And I'm like, oh, how cute. Look at the cute little mouse,
Was that the one for your snake?
No, I wouldn't give it to my snake. But I'm like, okay, should I be freaked out right now because there's a mouse in my house? But it's so cute. It was so cute. And I went to reach for it because I was going to put it outside or do something with it. And it turned around and took off. Well, about an hour later, I'm still watching Merlin. I got the lights off and everything. That little sucker came right up and sat right on my shoulder.
That's
right
awesome.
on my shoulder. And I'm
That's so
like,
cool.
okay, am I now the mouse whisperer or what?
Yeah, you are.
But of course,
Could
I
have been a
didn't.
sign from a spirit.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking. I needed to pull up because I used to work with animal totems and spirit animals, and I've got cards for those, but I'm going to have to pull them up. And I know a mouse is one of them. So, because that's very odd for an untamed mouse that's running free in my home to actually come up like that twice and not be afraid of me. Of course, it wouldn't let me touch it or anything, but to come up on my shoulder and me look at it like, what are you doing? So I need to look into that and see what the spirit, what it means to have a spirit animal as a mouse.
Yep. Yeah. And you should have followed him to see. He might have been trying to tell you something.
Well, by the time I
moved
moved, when I moved to get it off my shoulder, it took off. I don't know where it went. So it's probably still in my room laughing at me right now.
Like the big spider you throw your shoe at and you miss, and
oh, if there's a big
hides
spider
under your
like
bed.
that, I wouldn't be in my room if I saw a big spider.
I'd burn the house down.
Yeah, I'm not a spider person, not at all.
You're not going to last in the desert then, Kristi.
Nope. When we
It's
when
good
we
for
were
you to
moving
visit
to
and then come
Vegas,
back. Yeah.
when we were moving to Vegas, I did a ton of research on how to keep scorpions out of your home because that was like, not being from there, that's like the biggest fear you have moving there.
Right.
And I found cedarwood.
Yeah.
Does it. So
Yeah,
I had a spray bottle with cedarwood oil and I sprayed the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
And I regularly was spraying.
You could get that, get some like doTERRA essential oil.
Yep, that's what I used.
Yeah. I love doTERRA. Oh, love it. And because peppermint gets rid of mice. They don't like the smell of peppermint. So I'd put peppermint on some cotton balls and put it in my little closet where I've seen a couple, mouse droppings or whatnot. And because I live in a very old house, it's an older home. It's up, it's a nice place, but it is older and you're going to have a mouse here and there. Even people that think they don't have them, you've got them. So don't look at me like I'm the oddball out here.
No.
We've had them on our patio, and I created the spray, and we spray our perimeter of our patio every time after it rains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than trying to take your dog out, and then the dog gets distracted by a rat that takes off running.
Right. Oh, goodness. Mike, I've got 2 cats, and I don't know why I have them because they're useless. You're supposed to be
they're older. They're older, Kristi. So.
Well, Merlin's not, but Augustus, poor Augustus, he's lost his front teeth. Yeah. So even if he caught a mouse, what is he going to do? Gum it to death?
Yeah, totally.
We let our cat chase our lizards, and she'll come to us with the tail hanging out of its mouth, still wiggling.
No! Oh no! This is like adding insult to injury right there. It's like just gobble it down already.
Well, she lets it go.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
She just wants to prove to herself she can catch it.
She catches it and is like so proud of herself.
They are.
And our dog, when it comes to lizards, she could care less.
It's like, don't mess with me. Don't waste my time. I don't want a lizard.
Yep.
Oh, man. The weirdest thing I found in my house one time, other than ghost, was a bat. I had a bat in the house, and I thought it was a ghost because it started moving my bathroom door, and it was moving back and forth. I was like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? And then I see this little black thing come out from underneath it. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I looked down, and it was a little baby bat.
It was Dracula coming to see you.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I attract animals.
I don't know. That is how Kristi became a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
explains a lot.
Me.
We have the answers.
And there we know how it all began. But no, that's I did. Right. I picked it up. Of course I got a paper towel and I picked it up because I know they're supposed to have diseases and whatnot. But they're endangered species. So I had to call wildlife here, and they're like, well, just make sure you don't put it down on the ground. You've got to hang it somewhere. Because I didn't know that they couldn't take off. They couldn't take off flying from the ground. If they're not hanging upside down, they can't take off flying. So I felt bad. I was like, I just put it in my shed out there because it was daylight. Quit laughing at me, David. And it was daylight. I wanted it to be in the dark.
Oh, here's my bat.
Shut up. I wanted to save the bat.
No, it's awesome that you did. Most people would just be like, oh, stupid bat, get out of here. But I just find it funny. They're like, hang it. And they're like, boop.
You hang it like a Christmas ornament. Here you go.
Move my clothes over. Here you go. Boop.
That might have been why you had that dream in Antarctica where you're upside down.
Yeah.
Possibly hanging upside down. See, there we go. Going full circle there. I figured it out.
That's so funny.
See, what else have I caught in my house?
You teed that one up. I could go many ways with that one, Kristi.
Well, now I have woke up with something standing next to my bed, and that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary, having a dark something next to your bed. I'm like, oh, Lord, what did I bring home this time?
You brought that home from Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. My home is completely protected. Only positive energies can come in, and I've pissed off a few spirits. One actually, it sounded like he punched the front door.
Oh, wow.
And then when I looked through the little peephole, I would have seen someone running away.
Sure.
And
Right.
there was nobody there. And
Right.
it was, he was not happy.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
No.
We had an incredible experience with Annabelle the doll, and in Connecticut.
Well,
and,
you did.
Well, yes.
Mine wasn't so.
Well,
Mine was terrifying.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's what I mean, but it was still incredible, the things that happened to us. Annabelle forced me to be blind for about 30 seconds. I challenged Annabelle, stared right at her, just like this.
Shame.
That's
You
yeah,
need to challenge Peggy the doll at Zach's museum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that doll. We had an experience with that doll too.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah, we did. And
Yeah.
I was supposed to say hello and goodbye to it. And I looked at it. And am I allowed to cuss on this?
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. I looked at it. I said, I'm not fucking saying hello or goodbye to you. And I don't know why I did that. I got angry while I was in there with her. That's just how it made me feel. And I didn't. I turned around, turned my back to her, and walked right out. Damn it.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
then everybody was lining up to go through the little clown thing, like towards the end, the little circus thing, and then all we heard was this on the door.
Mhm.
Right? We called the guy over, and we
There's
go,
nobody in there.
"Is somebody in there?" He goes, "Nope." And the people, because the first people, I don't know where they were from, but they go, "That's it, I'm out of here." So
Yeah, because you know how when you leave a room, they shut the door and lock it so nobody else can go into that room.
Mhm.
Well, we had already come out of Peggy the doll's
was locked
room.
up.
Everybody was out and they had shut the door and locked it. Well, we're waiting to go into another room we're out in the hallway. And all of a sudden that door handle just
yeah,
and it's coming from the inside.
Yeah.
Because we're staring at the doorknob. It's like nobody's
not good.
touching it.
Yeah.
So we got the worker over there and he's like, no, I've locked the door. There's nobody in there. I was like, oh, think
Time to go.
again.
Yep. Yeah,
Think again. Yeah, but no,
that museum's no joke. That museum's no joke.
oh, it's no joke.
You got to be careful when you go in there. It affected everyone. We were there with Alicia Gutierrez and her husband Roman. Alicia goes by Cosmic Divine. She's a great reader. And Kristi and myself. And Alicia was affected first. Then I was affected, and then Kristi was affected. And Roman was the only one who wasn't. But I was affected downstairs of where the Bela Lugosi mirror is, and where the satanic rituals were happening. Was she the one at the Bunny Ranch one? She felt really bad or something like that there?
Hers was the Longfellow or the Goodfellow or whatever.
Yeah,
It was
something like
right when
that.
we first went in there. I think she was just having troubles acclimating how her body was reacting to the whole place in general. She's super sensitive. So
Yeah, I got vertigo. I couldn't stand up straight. I had to leave. And go outside and come back. And then, Kristi, you had your experience with the book box.
yeah,
So
if you want to call it that.
yeah, well, it was pretty crazy. You're like, I gotta get out of here.
Have you seen the Dybbuk box there, Heather? Have you been
Yeah.
in there?
I haven't been in there, but I've seen the Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they take you into a waiting room and they talk to you about it. And when you go in, it's like a circle. You go in and you circle around it so everybody can get a look and they can keep everybody moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once I go through the door frame, I don't even see the Dybbuk box yet. But I go through and it's pretty dark. All of a sudden, my spirit guides are saying, turn around, turn around, turn around. And I'm hearing it from all different angles. So I'm turning in circles, like 360 in circles, because I'm reacting to every turnaround that I hear.
Mm-hmm.
But it keeps me, I'm like running into walls. I couldn't figure out how to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so intense, I didn't even want to see it.
Yeah.
because something was telling me, get the fuck out of there. But I couldn't find the way out. They had to get some workers, the tour guides over there to grab me and take me out.
It was pretty intense.
It
was really
was
intense.
Yeah. And then I was mad because I've always wanted to see it.
Then I almost punched the little kid who was being a clown. Remember when we're going through the thing, that last part? There's one last part where it's all this clown shit. And I'm like, okay, that's it. And I knew somebody was going to come up behind us. I knew it because you just know.
David was going to drop kick one of them little clowns.
Yeah, and it was a little person, and it's going, yeah. And I go, not right now, bro. Just not right now. Like, get away from me. I'm done.
He has to make some entertainment value,
Oh, I know. I don't like clowns, man, and especially little ones like that. And I don't feel like going to jail in Vegas.
No, I loved that place. I'd like to get back. The Bela Lugosi mirror. I was trying to scry in it. And everybody was trying to pull me away. They're like, that's long enough, Kristi. That's long enough. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh,
leave me alone.
I was out of there. Roman got me out of there. And Kristi's just like, I look so pretty in this mirror. Look at me. Yeah, it was definitely, if you ever go there, make sure to get the RIP experience, not the VIP, the RIP.
The RIP.
Yeah. So you can see the different rooms and things like that. So
yeah, I used to drive by it all the time, and I had a friend who owned the one building next door that Zach ended up buying.
Yeah.
But and she knew the place was haunted, and she actually now owns a haunted church in Ohio.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
gotta love haunted churches.
We'll be going to Ohio probably in June.
Yeah.
I'll have to get you guys connected.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. But anyway, we got off track there, but Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Oh.
Should I tell them, David?
Well, it's up to you. It's very personal to you. It's very personal about what happened. I mean, mine was a quick little thing, like when you're yelling at somebody and they just punch you in the nose.
Days.
Yeah, hers
was ongoing.
Yeah,
I've only talked about it once on live or with anybody, but I can go ahead and do it again. It's been a while. I'm all right. I went in as long as I don't start having dreams again.
Yeah.
I went in and she started talking to me. She because we had got to go into where they were having all of the Warrens
artifacts.
Artifacts and whatnot. We got a special showing of it. So there was just myself and one other person in that room at the time. So I stood right in front of her and was communicating with her. And she was showing me, she was a little girl, had a blue dress on, blue ribbons, and was telling me, you're so pretty. Would you take me out here? I want to go with you. I want to hold your hand. I wanted this. I wanted that, and you're so pretty and, just really nice things. And Josh had to pull me away from her. And I kept, going back to her because she was just so sweet. Mm-hmm. Well, ended up leaving, didn't think anything about it at all. We go back to the hotel. We lay down to go to sleep. And I start dreaming about the Warrens and about Annabelle. Mm-hmm. And I won't go into everything that happened in the dreams. That's a little bit too intense, but I guess people would call it sleep paralysis, but it wasn't, because I could not move. I couldn't anything. And I'm screaming and I'm yelling and I'm trying to come out of it. And I just couldn't come out of it. And David, I guess he heard me.
She was screaming and yelling. It woke me up.
And he had to wake me up. But as soon as I'd go back to sleep, I'd go right back into it. Mm-hmm. This happened at least 4 times that night.
Yeah.
Happened 4 times that night. And every time I'd go back to sleep, it would continue the dream. It wasn't like this was something really affecting my memory, affecting my mind.
Yeah.
There was literally something there that was holding me down. And I was seeing stuff of the Warrens. I could probably describe their house, their backyard, their everything, and I've never been there. Mm-hmm. All the stuff that it was showing me. And I lost so much sleep. It happened the next night.
Mm-hmm.
Then it happened at David's brother's house when we were on the way home. This happened to me 3 or 4 nights in a row where I would just have these horrible nightmares, and the doll would be in it. The doll and the shape of the little girl that it showed me when we were there. It got to a point where I was afraid to go to sleep.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I was afraid to go to sleep, and I didn't want to be alone. It's like at your brother's house, David.
Mhm.
That was horrible because I was in a room by myself, and there was
Yeah.
nobody there to wake me up if it
Yeah.
was happening. And
Yeah.
I didn't hardly get any sleep. I did fall asleep in the truck, but
Yeah.
But
She
David
wasn't
was
screaming
there
in,
to-
in the truck, and if she did, the cops would have pulled us over. Why are you screaming, ma'am? What is going on? So
Yeah, but it was very terrifying. And then when I got home, I got my high priestess to come over and do a blessing on me and smudge the house and do everything. But it had a lasting effect on me, and I didn't talk about it for at least a year.
yeah.
So
I have pictures of Annabelle on my phone, and I ask people if they want to see it. Nope.
yep, nope.
Nope.
They didn't
And
want to see it on there.
And it affects different people different ways. There were a lot of people there that were talking about their experiences that they were having with the doll at the Warren Con. So it's very selective, and I would be very careful if you want to interact with that doll, because it will mess with you.
The same. I don't think it's the same spirit that.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's different. I think whatever was in there before is gone, and something else has inhabited it.
It was so intense because Josh was with me also, like he was with Kristi, and I was in there by myself also when I was affected, and it was just my eyes just kind of blurred over. I didn't go black or anything like that, but it was just hazy, and I took my glasses off, and he's like, "What's going on?" I go, I can't see anything. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I can't see." And he, I'm just like kind of staggering around, and he had to grab me so I didn't run into anything or break anything. But, I was like, that's it. I'm out of here. I can't deal with this anymore. So it's a very real thing when you go see Annabelle. So make sure to protect yourself, ground yourself, or anything else before you go there.
Most definitely.
And just like I said, I didn't follow my own advice. Don't do shit you don't know how to do.
I had Dan Rivera on a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how he handles Annabelle and all the different things that they do. And I just had this vision of him holding Annabelle and like moving her, and her head turning and looking at him. So I asked him, like, has she ever done that? He's like, no, and I would drop her. He didn't say he would drop her, but his attitude was like, I would drop and run.
Yeah. Bye.
Right.
Bye. Poltergeist for real.
It looks like, Joe Frankie's finally joined us. Good morning,
Joe.
Joe.
Hi,
Good morning,
Joe.
Yeah, he's actually going to be hosting a show with me starting in June.
Oh,
also
nice.
on
Oh,
WLTK.
great.
So we have fun like you guys do on your show.
Right.
we joke and laugh. And
That's the big thing of how Kristi and I are. You can really see the camaraderie that we have here, and it's like we were saying earlier. You know what? It doesn't have to be serious all the time. There are things that we talk about are serious, and we get into it and things like that. But you have to bring out the personality to the person, or somebody doesn't want to watch, because if they're just talking in monotone and this is how I investigate and everything like that.
Talking, it gets so boring.
And then it's off and click, and we don't make any money, because nobody's watching.
I've actually done that doing presentations at conferences, and then it's like I catch myself because for a moment there I'll hear myself. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Am I sounding this way for real?
Yeah. So it's good that you have a partner, and it's great to play off somebody, especially if you love them, because I love Kristi. She's so
Yes, I love you too, David. Aw.
No, I mean
I told him I'm just going to do the introduction. He'll take the rest of the show.
No, she's so great, and she's opened a lot of doors for us. And she's just been very supportive.
I just know a lot of people. I can't help it.
It's okay. I know them now too. They're my friends too.
Yes, they're your friend now too.
That's why he partnered with you. So
No,
That's
no,
right, he did. That's exactly why
no,
he did it,
no, I
Heather.
did not. No, I
He
did not.
probably stalked me and said,
Yes.
"Ooh,
I
that's the
was like,
girl I wanna know because
Yeah,
she
he
knows
checked all of your
everybody."
friends and
oh, she knows this person. I'm gonna friend her.
No, he knows better than that
Yeah.
because when I first met David, he was with another person. He was with another gentleman, and I say that word lightly. And they wanted me to work with them, and I wasn't going to work with that other person. But I didn't want to tell David that. Didn't want to, ruin anything that he had going with the other guy because that's his business, not mine. All I knew is that I didn't want to be a part of what they had going on.
Mhm.
And months and months on down the road, I think David, because I wanted him to figure out for himself.
Mhm.
I didn't want to be the reason why they broke up.
Yes.
Mhm.
But when he finally saw what I was seeing all along, he
Yeah.
was like, wow, okay. I think he kind of got mad at me. Why didn't you tell me? I was like, well, it's not for me to tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't for me, because I barely knew David. I'm not going to go and tell him something, the person you're with is a fraud and they're faking things. And
Yeah.
that's just not something you go and tell somebody, but I knew I didn't want to be a part of it.
So you sat on the sidelines with popcorn waiting for him to discover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when he did, I'm like, okay, I'll work with you now.
After the 14th time he was attacked, I was like, all right, come on now.
Yeah, a person doesn't pass out every time they go on an interview or investigation. I'm sorry.
Or
It's
get
just
touched or get attacked or, just something. It
doesn't
was-
work.
I know. I don't know how many investigations I've been on where we sat there twiddling our thumbs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, picking your nose is the highlight of the evening. It's like, some investigations are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to investigate a children's museum, and we ended up playing with the blocks because there was nothing happening one night. So we're there building stuff and playing with Lego.
Well, you never know while you're doing that, something might come along and want to join.
Right. Several times beforehand, I built a pyramid of just the little wood blocks. And I'm like, if you're here, knock it over. And all of a sudden they fell down.
That's awesome.
Well, there you go.
And I'm like, do it again. And as I'm building them as fast as I can.
That's great. That's
But
great.
then other times nothing happens, same location. So
Yeah. Yeah. I've felt that way I've been to North Carolina twice, the USS North Carolina twice, and the second time was more active for me. But I think that was because it was a private investigation. Because I was there with Kristi and Ghost Hunt Weekends and the Wraith Chasers, and there's like 90 people in each room, and you're just like,
yeah,
this is not an investigation. They're fun to do. It's great networking, and we have a great relationship with Chad and everybody like that. I'm not saying don't go. It's a great way to meet people, and if you want to learn how to investigate and things like that, and see if it's for you, and hang out with Chris and Mike and Kristi and Chad and all the other crew there. I mean, they're incredible, and you can learn a lot from it.
Learn a lot. That's what basically Ghost Hunt Weekends is for people that want to get into these big places but can't afford to rent it on their own, or they don't want to rent it on their own. They want to be around other people. They want to learn how to use the equipment. They want to learn how to, do the different things that we do, like Estes method, or, just see how things are done. And it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't like doing things alone and you want to feel, safety in numbers type thing. It's really, really good for that. And plus, like I said, you can get into some of these really well-known places that you couldn't get in by yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ghost Hunt Weekends is great. And then you get to meet Chris and Mike from the Wraith Chasers and me sometimes if I'm there.
And what people need to understand is there's always something positive about anything.
Right.
Yes.
And people need to stop focusing on the negative stuff,
Right. There's always positive.
Yeah. Figure out one thing that was good and focus on that. Whether it was you learned how to use a new piece of equipment or
Well, that's like Kristi said, that's a great thing is, if it's your first time investigating, just kind of sit back and watch and take everything in like a sponge. And after it's done,
ask questions. Questions.
Yeah. After it's done, just go, okay, how do I do this? And what can I do so I don't be affected and things like that? And they'll teach you, I mean, we're always here. Kristi and I are always here to pay it forward. I mean, we love doing this. And if you ask us questions, we're going to tell you the truth. And you might not like what you're hearing, Like, I don't think you're ready for an Estes method right now.
Yep.
I think you need to wait a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see how it is. And go
that's
from
why
there.
we host Ghost Education 101 is
Sure.
to, we discovered during COVID that there was definitely a lack of truthful information.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a lot of shows were coming on, during COVID that were mimicking the TV shows. And
Sure.
it's like, so it started off as it was a presentation every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then now we've expanded to get other people to come on and help with that. And yep.
I'll be on.
You've been on before, right? We had you on another time too, didn't we? Yeah.
We had a great discussion before. It was about some things, and I was asking questions, and I learned a lot from that show. And this one's going to be about orbs.
Yep. And we have one coming up on Ouija boards, so I might
Oh.
have to have Kristi on that one.
I have Kristi on because she's the one who plays with those.
Yep. Yeah, we have Joe Frankie's going to be on that one as the skeptic don't use.
Yeah.
And then we have the Sin City Witch from Vegas is going to be on that. And then there is a, I forgot her name, but I guess you would call her a Ouija board specialist from Australia.
Wow.
You should contact the guy who owns the museum in Salem and see what he has to say.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll come on.
Great.
I forget his name, but we had a great time there. That we were there with Patty and Heather and myself and then Kristi, and he was just like, "Yeah, get in here," and it was absolutely amazing in the place. It was just
the different Ouija boards everywhere, the stories behind all of it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was really cool. If you ever go to Salem, make sure to check it out.
Yep,
it's really cool. It's in the back of a Harry Potter store. So, it's really, really cool. All right. Well, I think I have to get out of here. I've got a few things to do.
Yep, not a problem. We're actually coming up on another commercial break, and you guys are free to go. I do appreciate you guys joining me today. It's definitely a fun thing. I didn't get to all my questions. Actually, I didn't get to any of my questions, but hey.
That's okay. Well, have us back on. We love being on.
I'm a jabber box. You never have to worry about having dead silence in an interview. I will come up with something.
Yeah, make sure to check out our show on ParaFlixx. Season 9 is coming up at the end of this month, and also we'll be at Fort Mifflin August 12th. We'll be at the Hell House Paracon September 9th, Mass Paracon on the 22nd. And then we've already been booked for Lake Shawnee, the abandoned amusement park, for May next year, May 25th next year. So we've already been booked for that. Yes. So look for us on the road. Come and meet us if you're in the area, and come out and hang out with us. The Fort Mifflin is a supernatural sleepover. So you get to spend the whole night.
Definitely looking forward to all of those. And thank you guys again for joining us.
Yeah.
Definitely had a great time.
For sure.
And I will definitely be in touch to get you guys on again.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Anytime. We'll see you down the road. Okay.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
And everyone else, we will be right back after this quick commercial break. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys had a great time watching and listening. Kristi and David are amazing. And like I had said, I hadn't even gotten to any of my questions. We had so much fun talking and sharing stories that I will definitely have them on again in the future. But like we had talked about, Dave will be joining Ghost Education 101 next week on Wednesday. And like he said, our discussion is on orbs, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be discussing everything, you know, of course, with Ghost Education 101. We want to make sure that we help educate you and get you the information so you can be successful paranormal researchers and not be afraid of things that go bump in the night. So we'll be discussing what makes a real orb, how often they're seen, and how to identify a real orb versus pareidolia or dust and backscatter and bugs, and videos, and also on film. So make sure you tune into that. That link will be posted on my Facebook page at Dr. Heather Leigh, or you can go to Facebook at Ghost Education 101 or watch live on YouTube at Ghost Education. That is there as well. So definitely so looking forward to those. And Lee, yeah, they are a lot of fun. I actually need to go see them when they're together live, because that'll be a great entertainment and a lot of things to learn from them. They have great experiences and truly great people in this field. We need more people like them hanging around the paranormal field. So what I wanted to go into today, let me pull up my notes here real quick. I wanted to, here it goes. I've been asked by several people, how, you know, let me find the question here. It was a mailbag email that came in a few weeks ago. It was, "Hi Heather, I'm trying to find a reputable team to join and start doing some paranormal research, but all I'm finding are groups that want to go to abandoned places and," he put in quotes, "hunt ghosts. How do I know if I'm finding a reputable team that is best for me? Thank you for your help, Alex." So I know I've talked about how to find out if it's a reputable team or not. So I kind of did a little bit more research into a few things and want to share some information of what I've found and what I've experienced. And of course, a lot of what I'm going to say is not of popular opinion among many ghost paranormal enthusiasts or ghost hunters, especially I call them paranormal tourists, just because it doesn't go with what many think they're doing or thinking they're trying to do. So the first thing you want to do is to find out if they're a reputable team. And the best way to do it is if they're a club, which means they're just going out to haunted locations and stuff like that, they won't have an LLC or a nonprofit. If you want to be part of an actual team that does research, goes to clients' homes, and conducts actual investigations, you want to make sure that they have insurance for the team. And when it comes to, they need to be more transparent, and I'll get more into this stuff. Like if they're an LLC, that means they're for profit. You need to understand that when they sell or do things, they're doing it to make a profit. And then you have nonprofit, which means that they're, you know, anything that they sell or any donations that they get goes to benefit the organization, you know, the clients, and everything like that. And then the insurance is there just to protect you. Don't be afraid. If the team is reputable, ask to see their paperwork. You know, ask for proof. Don't hesitate or ever be afraid to say, you know, "Hey, I want to see, you know, your insurance paperwork. I want to make sure that, you know, you guys have everything." If they get offended by that, they might not be the team for you. And this is just information. This is how I would go about it. I've learned a lot from being on a couple different teams and working with several people. And this is a combination of my personal experience and information that others have shared with me over the last several years. Know who you are paying. So if you're buying products, you know, is it for profit? Where does the money, if it's a nonprofit or you're making a donation or buying products, where does the money go? What is it used for? Does it benefit the organization, the members, clients, or does it all get used to pay the leader or the founder of the group a salary? Ask to see paperwork, like I mentioned, and also check your state laws. One thing I noticed, various different states, is some LLCs, depending on how they're classified, and in some states, they do not allow LLCs to bring on volunteers or unpaid workers. It's actually classified as an employment violation. I don't really want to use the term slave labor, but that's some of the references that I've seen. It just depends on what state you're in. So if the organization, because I know several ghost teams throughout, you know, including several here in Florida, they're LLCs because they offer ghost tours, and that's for profit. And so, but some LLCs, you know, they actually because they're for profit, they have to pay everybody who is on the team doing work is what they needed to do. So make sure you look into that. And then personally, my personal thing, if they're not an LLC or a nonprofit, they really shouldn't be doing residential investigations, because if they're not going to take the time to register and become, I guess, legitimate, they don't have the insurance to, protect themselves or to protect the client when they go in there. And that's just my personal opinion. I really don't feel that, those teams are the ones that are in it for the fun, the paranormal tourism, the excitement, the thrill, and the getting out there and enjoying themselves. Other ways that you can determine if it's a legitimate organization is check their social media pages. Look for inconsistencies, their desire to get more clicks, false evidence, egos, false information. Look into that. The other thing you could do is ask to go on an investigation or attend a team meeting to learn more about how they do things. And then some of these teams make false promises. You need to, if you're noticing those false promises, I'm trying to think of one, like I've seen all over Facebook, some teams, people, charge for residentials, and, that's each team's prerogative. I have my own opinions on that, but I don't judge anyone for charging, because some people need to pay for travel, equipment, and whatnot. But if they're going to charge, they need to be an LLC or a nonprofit. But false promises that I've seen online, I'm trying to think of one that I saw recently. We promise to cleanse your home free of spirits is one. And you really can't promise that, because the spirits have free will. They can come and go as they please. Or backing it by a guarantee. We guarantee we'll cleanse your home, or we'll come back and, kind of almost like your exterminator, we'll come back for free and redo it. And just, it's a whole bunch of different things. And then you could also, I just saw Leigh saying arguing, and I don't know if this is the same thing that I was thinking, but a lot of infighting in the group, people arguing with each other, talking bad about other organizations. No matter how much someone doesn't like a certain TV show or a certain investigator or a certain team, there's no need to publicly put on Facebook names and bash them. We're all trying to do, not everyone in this field is in it for the same reason, but we're all trying to make peace and get it more reputable. That's never going to happen if we don't stop arguing and carrying on with our different things. So we need to focus on us. So moving on, I was doing research, and I did a lot more research this weekend on it because it was kind of interesting. I did an article for a client a while back that was on, Joe says, always be respectful and humble. Exactly. And talking about other team members too. Yes, I've been involved in that. I've seen people be a victim of that. It's really sad about how some people talk about each other in this field. Before I get into what I was going to talk about, that kind of brought something up, is the whole concept of para-unity. I believe it's a great idea. You guys have heard me talk about this before when we've had other guests on. It's a great idea. It's a great concept in theory, but it can't be one of those things where someone comes to you and says, I'm a paranormal investigator. You have to accept me. You have to promote me. You have to like what I'm doing. You have to, X, Y, and Z. It's not like that. We need to be sharing information, sharing evidence, supporting one another. But in order for me to support somebody and have that para-unity concept between the two of us, we must have worked together. There must be a two-way street. We have to respect each other. And I have to know that, whoever I'm working with or promoting, that they don't fake evidence. Their ego's not too big, and, and they're humble and having, a lot of fun. So with that, anyway, a couple months ago already now, I had done an article for a client, because I do freelance writing on the side. That's my day job, I guess you would call it, on different signs of occult. And I was starting to notice a lot of similarities compared to how some of these paranormal groups operate. I'm noticing a lot of them operate more like a cult, and they're only in it to advance their personal public presence of the leaders, and while having other members work hard, which, if you think about it, You have the FLDS. They operate similar to a cult where everybody has to give all of their property over. And even though I'm going to share the different, how it differs a little bit, but you guys are going to notice some similarities, I hope. If not, I'm completely off the rails and just came up with this theory to pass time on the show. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So you have the FLDS, Nexium. Everybody was in it to advance the leaders and increase their public presence and so on, while everyone else did all the work. Trying to think. You have the Doomsday Cult. Anyway, there's several of them. But I ended up coming across the article and the research on the top 10 signs that you might be in a cult or that a group is a cult. So the first one is the leader has ultimate authority. So like, for example, in the FLDS, you still have Warren Jeffs, who claims to be the prophet, even though there are some people who are coming out saying they're the new prophet because he's in jail. If a new prophet comes around, they have ultimate control of the group. No one else can make decisions. You can also, this is often recognized by phrases such as, this is my group. You get a lot of I's and me and my, I'm in charge, you do what I say, and all of that. So I've seen several people complain about the group that they're in, not letting them do what they want to do, not letting them research what they want to research. They're just kind of stuck. It's, all the group does is go and investigate different things. And I do want to clarify real quick. I'm not saying that paranormal groups are a cult. It sounds like a joke, 10 signs you might be in a cult. Yeah, I'm not saying that paranormal groups are a cult. I'm just saying that there's a lot of similarities, which kind of, opened my eyes a little bit. Groups suppress skepticism is number 2. This means critical thinking is not allowed. I've seen so many people who don't use critical thinking in the paranormal field, and that is the number one thing we need to be using. We need to think for ourselves. We need to look at things from a scientific manner. We need to look at things from different aspects, including spiritual manners, where people are just, this is how the group believes when it comes to orbs, spirits, and demons. For example, if a team leader or someone on the, whoever's running the investigation, whether not the organization's leader, but just a team leader says it's a demon, everyone must agree. If one of the leaders of the group says that that's an orb in a photo, everyone must agree. Someone can't say, no, it's not an orb, or here, listen to me why it might not be. It's, once it's determined something, and then other groups say, hey, all of our evidence, anything that looks like an orb is an orb. There's no analyzing it. Or any negative energy is a demon. There's no considering it. The other thing that I've seen, and this goes back to Joe starting his own cult. I've seen this in a lot of groups, and especially recently, is the group will delegitimize former members. For example, this goes back to the talking bad about people. If someone leaves a group, the rest of the members start talking bad about the person, trying to discredit them, trying to make it hard for them to do what they're trying to do in the field. And it just really I've seen a lot of people give up and leave the paranormal field because of the way their last group was trying to damage their reputation or their character, which just I don't think is right. The group is paranoid of others. In this aspect, even though you might not be paranoid of others, I'm noticing that so many groups are afraid to share evidence and afraid to talk about different things because they're afraid someone will steal their evidence, their cases, their members, etc. They're always belittling others, not willing to share investigation locations, always fear that others are being more successful than them. In that aspect, I kind of fit that into with the paranoid of other groups. Hey, Howard, how are you doing? I need to chat with you later, so I'll make sure I reach out to you so we can talk later. And then number 5, the group relies on shame cycles. This is a lot of things I've seen, and this goes with ego, telling members that they don't know what they're doing, belittling any accomplishments members make on their own without the group. So, for example, if someone is succeeding or doing things that other members either don't want to do or they didn't think of first, they make that person feel bad. So that way they kind of knock them off the pedestal, I guess you would say, and try to make them rely on the group, and that, you know, they don't have individual thinking. The leader is above the law. I've heard this from several people that I've talked to. They feel like nothing can affect them. Often some teams conduct illegal activities. They break into abandoned buildings. They don't get permission to investigate locations. They, again, make false promises that could be misleading. Several teams are not an LLC or nonprofit, and those that are LLCs or nonprofits are either not paying taxes or filling out the annual nonprofit statements. So there's a lot of different aspects where that could fit into it. Your diagnostic is correct. Thank you. I was starting to worry about it because when I came up with this, it's like I'm not pinpointing any one particular group. This is a broad general. I've seen it from a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of people who feel that this does fit the group that they used to be a part of. And these 10 things are one of the reasons why I stick with my small group of 3 people. I do work with other teams, but I do like my small group of 3 people, which is my husband and my son. And I say it's because I trained them right. So number 7, the group uses thought-form methods. They never really answer questions. Instead, they answer questions with questions or cliches, such as follow your leader, do what you're told, and stuff like that. Another number 8 would be the group is elitist, which means they're full of egos and they have a solution for the world's problem, paranormal problems. They get free manual labor, which is usually such as in a nonprofit, and they do it with heightened recruitment efforts to further their cause. This is where these teams get so big that they and there's a difference, because I've seen a lot of teams that do expand to different states, to expand worldwide, and they're doing great, but they follow all the rules. They're nonprofits. They're legitimate nonprofits. They follow local and state laws, and they do all of that stuff. And they're just not willy-nilly recruiting anyone and everyone. If someone comes to them, they go through a strict process to get in there. And but they feel that they're, you know, the egos, the more people in the group, the bigger the ego gets, because they have all of these, I guess you would call them followers, if you were to follow the cult line. Another thing is they're legends in their own minds. Yep. And so number 9, we're almost done here, guys. The group has no financial transparency. This means no one besides the leader or maybe 1 or 2 others know where the money is coming from and where it goes. Ethical organizations have nothing to hide, and they can show where every penny goes, including for travel, equipment, website hosting fees, and they have a list, and they also have a detailed list of where the money's coming from. Both of those are needed for a legitimate LLC because you have to show taxes, income and loss statements, and also for a nonprofit because you need to show your financial statements to remain a nonprofit. So that all falls under the legitimacy of that. And the final one is the group conducts routine testing of the loyalty of its members. And this one I've noticed a lot. It's more or less like they're not allowed to communicate with other groups. They're not allowed to be friends with certain people, especially former members. And this kind of is one of those things where it's like they don't want other members to, I don't really want to say learn the truth about their group, but it just kind of falls into, you're just kind of restricted. You're the only paranormal people you can talk to are from your group, you know. And I know you don't want to bring on someone, like if you're going on a client residential investigation, you don't want to bring someone who's not a part of your team because A, they're not covered under your insurance, and B, you don't know how they work. But you should still be allowed to consult with people outside your team, especially if you have a case that you don't know how to handle. I know when we had a case in Vegas once that involved what the client said was a demonic entity, and she claimed that a whole bunch of different people said it was as well. I reached out to Reverend Sean Whittington, who's out in Vegas as well, in case we needed an exorcist at the site with us. So you should be able to do stuff like that, where a lot of these elitist type groups kind of don't. They shy away from that, and that's where, you know, that's where the whole mentality of we can't work with others comes from in this field. So I hope I didn't bore you guys with that. It was just something that I had thought of after doing research, and I'd been wanting to do it a little bit more. And I found it very interesting how it all fell into place, where everything like I said, everything fell into place, and it's like, wow, some groups fit 1 or 2, other groups fit all 10. And even you can even do this with some individuals, some people who are just solo investigators. A lot of them fit into that aspect as well. So hope you'd enjoyed that. And hi, Jamie. Thank you for joining us today. I know you're just coming in towards the end, but the replay will be up on Facebook, YouTube, and also on my podcast channel. So I'll make sure I share those links for everybody to see as well. So I do want to get you guys excited for future shows coming up. Make sure you mark your calendars. I have Catherine Sorilos coming on next week, and I need to message her to talk to her, but I'm going to get her to do I'm going to do the Zaner card experiment that Lee mentioned last week that I should try. So I'm going to try that with her and you guys. So that'll be a fun little experiment that we do while she's here. And also I want to try to get her, I'm going to make sure she has the supplies to do her where she can spin the piece of paper. So I'll make sure I find that old video and share that so you guys can see it. And I'll make sure I have her prepared to do that. I want to see her do it live on our show. I think that would be kind of fun to experience. And then on May 30th, we have Mike Cardenas coming back. He is the founder and leader of the Midnight Paranormal Society. He is an amazing guy. Love him. Love chatting with him. We have a lot of fun discussing different ideas and experiments. The Connor sisters will be joining us on June 6th. June 13th, I have Natalie Creeder joining us. June 20th, Joe, if you're still here, mark your calendar so you don't forget. Joe Frankie will be joining us. On June 27th, we have Archbishop Kenneth Torres joining us. And if anyone out there watching is available on July 4th, I know it's July 4th, but we only are live from 10 to noon Eastern, so you still have your day to enjoy the holiday. Please let me know because I have July 4th open. If not, I think I'm going to pull out one of my presentations for you guys to watch and listen. On July 11th, I have C.L. Thomas joining us. July 18th, Jeff Schlachter will be returning. He was invited on as a last-minute guest because I had a guest cancellation. So he will be joining us as an official guest. And then I do have several others that I'm working on. So make sure you stay tuned to all of that. One thing I am working on, if anyone watching is not a paranormal investigator, I want to have at least 2 people, but up to 4 people who've had paranormal experiences in their lives, but they are not paranormal researchers. I know that's hard to find, but especially if you guys are watching a show for the information on how to be a team, but reach out to me on my Facebook page at Dr. Heather Leigh or at Exploring the Paranormal Show. And I will make sure that I get you on that roundtable. I don't have a date yet, but I'm thinking it'll probably be in either August or September on that one. Then real quick for Ghost Education 101, next week, 5/24 at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have a panel discussion on orbs with David Taylor, Bill Slevin, Larry Lawson, and Nick Carboni will be joining us. On June 7th, we have Ron Stokes. On June 21st, we have John Zaffis will be joining us. July 5th, we have Blake Best. And I have a couple shows in here with just individual guests just to kind of break up the summer monotony and do that. But at the end of July, we'll be returning to our panel discussions and presentations. So we also have panel discussion on Ouija boards. Reverend Sean Whittington will be joining us. Robert Bradley will be doing a presentation on science and the paranormal. We have a roundtable of collecting evidence, and then Nick Carboni and his co-host from Old World Paranormal, I think is the name of the group, will be joining us for discussion. Philip, my co-host, has a presentation. The Haunted Librarian will be joining us for a presentation on the legalities of hosting a haunted house. And then the members of Georgia Paranormal will be rejoining us for a roundtable discussion later on. But then I have so many other people that I'm reaching out to. We do have that. Did I skip over it? Oh, the panel discussion on Ouija boards. I did mention that. But we do have several other people that I'm reaching out to for discussions on the thinning veil, protecting yourself from the paranormal, tips for new investigators, dreams and interpretations, photographic and analysis and stuff. Okay, Lee, perfect. I'll keep an eye out for that message. Love to have you on the show. We'll have to pick a date and get that going. So as you can see, a lot of things are happening. And of course, I can't forget, Joe and I will be starting our own show coming up on June 8th. And we still need to pick our topics and get those out to you guys, but that will be a lot of fun. And that will be here on WLTK-DB radio for Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern until about 9 or 10 to 9. Yeah, no, until 10:55. So that way Todd has time to get ready for the next show after us. So not quite an hour, but we'll still have a lot of fun. Yep. So, oh yes, definitely the Georgia girls will be back for the Ghost Education 101. That they are absolutely amazing. That whole team. Philip, I do have to applaud him. He did an amazing job getting the people for his team. He took the time, took the effort, and everyone on his team has input. It's a shame that I don't live closer to him for me to be able to join in on his team. But I do look forward to working with him in the future as well, which we're working on. So we shall see. I've known Philip for several years now, and we work well together. It's just, I can only imagine how well we would work together in person. Same thing with Joe. I mean, Joe and I've only met once in person, so it's the Georgia cult. That's what we're going to call it now from now on. That's how I'll introduce them in the show. So anyway, I do want to thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you had fun. Hope I didn't babble on too much at the end. Again, my guests today were absolutely amazing. Don't forget all the upcoming shows and the courses that I'm teaching. More information will be coming out about that. And that sounds about like everything. Once is enough. Exactly, Joe. Oh, thank you, Lee, for joining us. And I do appreciate everyone being here. If you guys have any topics you ever want to see discussed or anything like that, let me know. I'm more than happy to discuss just about everything. Luckily today I was more prepared than I normally am. So hopefully as time goes on, the shows just keep getting better and better. And like David said, the first thing I'm going to work on is my backdrop. Like I told him, I know my faults. I'm only taking it one day at a time when it comes to everything. And this is me doing me. So anyway, you guys have a great day. I will see you next week when Catherine's with us. Have a great week.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.